Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be going over absolutely all of my fishing tackle in 2024. First, this is my fishing backpack from Piscafun. This bag has a pocket for a water bottle pouch. It has a side pocket here, a front pocket here, a large pocket here for tackle boxes, a mesh pouch here where you can put active lures you're using so it doesn't get caught with its hooks, another side pouch, lower side pouch, and an extremely deep pouch in the top. The best part about this backpack is that it is 100% customizable. Starting off in the biggest pouch are my big major tackle boxes, of which I carry 4. This is my first big pouch, which I consider to be my top water pouch. Starting out, I have a Guggen revolver, which is a whopper plopper, rotates just like that, in a sexy shag color, very nice. Next up, I have a real branded whopper plopper right there like that. This has a spinner that's more in the back that plops on top of the water. Next is a Weston topwater bait in kind of a pearl bluegill color, I would say. Nice rattle on it. Next up are my poppers. This is a black popper, nice neon tip and a little flare tail. Nice little rattle to it. This is the same popper, but this is that same popper, but in a bone color. This is a small popper I use for bluegill and other small species. These two are my frogs. This is a Guggen Squad Filthy Frog. Eat me on the top. I think that really helps the fish, you know. They just know that's on top, and so then they bite it. White underbelly, green skirt, great lure. And then I have a standard white lure, white skirt, white on bottom. Both of these work very well on lily pads and other such areas. Next, I have potentially the best topwater lure of all time, whom I got from someone very close to me, a Spook. As you can see, caught by lots of fish. No rattle to this guy, but very, very good walking stick bait. Very good walking bait. Next up isn't really topwater, but kind of a miscellaneous category. I have a ultra realistic swim bait right there in a darker color. Next, I have a Mike Bucca bluegill colored swim bait. Very realistic as it goes in the water, as you can see. Very good detail on the coloring, and this absolutely slays fish. Next up is a lipless crankbait that I honestly cannot tell you why it's in this box. It should go in my crankbait box, but just a standard rattle trap style bait. Very nice. Makes a very nice sound. Next up are some random soft baits I have in this box. A large red shad fluke bait. Very good action on the tail. Next are a few lizards I have with a blue tail. Another fluke minnow style bait. More lizards in different colors. More red shad flukes. A mega red shad fluke, that's probably 7 inches. Curly tail worm. Another lizard that's starting to come apart a little bit. And another lizard. And that does it for this box. Moving on to my next box, which is a crankbait box. Probably my second most used lure in all of fishing. Starting out, we have a shallow diving wake style bait. Next up is a large square bill crankbait in the sexy shad color. Next up is a standard square bill crankbait, also in a sexy shad color. My absolute favorite crankbait, honestly, is a square bill sexy shad crankbait. Dives 4 to 6 feet. Amazing lure in the spring, summer, and fall. Pretty much in the entire bass fishing season. Ultra realistic lipless crankbait. Makes a really good sound through the water. And now we have a huge amount of medium diving crankbaits that we will go through. Starting out, we have this jointed crankbait in a standard minnow color. Another minnow color medium diving crankbait. Probably dives 7-ish feet, I'd say. Feels like it used to have a sound, but doesn't rattle too much anymore. Another medium diving crankbait in a standard natural color. Light on bottom, dark on top. Medium diving crankbait. Next up is a chartreuse, very bright blue on top, chartreuse on bottom. A very small crankbait in comparison to my hand. Small diving, so very good for smaller, more finicky fish in very stained water. Definitely a go-to crankbait in small ponds. Next up is an all-time creek favorite, one of my favorites to use in the creek. Very small again, very dark color, good for more stained water, orange on the tip, very nice rattle. Just different colors, more of a natural and a brighter color, both medium diving crankbaits. This lure has caught me so many. Standard small crankbait, probably dives 5 to 8 feet. Natural kind of shad color, a little bit of dark on the bottom, a little bit of orange on the bottom, dark on top. Great lure. Next is a little bit deeper diving crankbait, very natural color. Dives probably 10 feet, I would say. One of my deeper diving crankbaits because I mostly fish ponds and I usually don't get to fish those deep water fish. Another sexy shad square bill crankbait. Honestly, might be my favorite hard bait I have in my entire collection. Now this is a very interesting lure. It has like a almost chatterbait style square bill and very bright lure, but light on bottom with a little bit of chartreuse and orange. Very interesting. Never caught any fish on it, but I'm sure it works. You guessed it, another square bill, sexy shad colored crankbait. Missing an eye here, as you can tell, it's caught me a lot of good fish. Square bill crankbait, red craw color, great for smallmouth. I've noticed in creeks and rivers, definitely a go-to in that situation. A larger chartreuse crankbait, dives a little bit deeper than my others. Very good for stained water. And lastly, a little crankbait, little square bill, great color. Definitely good for more. I like square bills because you can pretty much catch any species on them, and it's really good for those extra finicky fish. Next, onto my lipless crankbaits, as you can see there. Crankbait, smaller lipless crankbait, but lipless crankbaits are so deadly because they will catch you any fish. Very nice rattle to it. Good for small creeks, ponds, things like that. Definitely a really, really nice lure. Next up is a red style lipless crankbait. Very interesting from I believe Biotech, is it called? Biotech lures, but very, very, very interesting action. Very nice knocking sound. Just looks exactly like a crawdad. Great for smallmouth and creeks. Great for bass and ponds. Another small lipless crankbait, bluegill color. Nice rattle on it. I love lipless crankbaits that have a little bit of rattle, just like the iconic rattle trap. Speaking of, this is a Bill Lewis rattle trap. Special rattle trap, red craw color. This might be the best shaker of them all. Very nice lure. Another kind of shad, baitfish colored, natural looking lipless crankbait. Another great rattle on it. And finally a normal size Guggen Squad clutch, just the color of a standard minnow. Rattle's starting to fade on this one, but this one has caught me lots of fish. As you can tell by the scale starting to peel on it, lots of good fish. Finally, mostly my jerk baits and a few other crankbaits. Now for my jerk baits. Standard 6-inch minnow style jerk bait. Very good. Believe this is a Lucky Craft crankbait. I believe this is a Lucky Craft jerk bait. Very nice natural color there. Light on bottom, purple on top. Nice little rattle too. One of my all-time favorite jerk baits, Guggen Squad Scout in this bone color. Very, very good for clear water. Another Guggen Squad Scout. Very good. I believe these are the 4.5 inch version. And finally, another minnow style 4.5 inch jerkbait. Finally, a couple crankbaits I left off. Fire Tiger color. Very nice small crankbait. And 7-foot diving, as it says on there, which is actually very handy, I believe. Crawfish colored crankbait. Next up is my jig and spinner box. Got a couple chatterbaits. Natural color with a nice trailer right there, swim bait trailer. Official Z-Man chatterbait. Tiny little spinner bait, which very, very good for pretty much any species, honestly, in this size. Another small spinner, same type. Very good for smaller species. The Z-Man Mini chatterbait. Natural chartreuse color there with a nice chartreuse trailer. And another small spinner. More chatter style baits. This is a shad color with a trailer on it. Chatterbait. And here we have an all white Z-Man chatterbait. Chartreuse and white chatterbait. I really do like chatterbaits quite a bit. Little grub trailer I have in there. Some rooster tails. Some brightly colored ones. Some more neutral ones. I believe this is a MEPS inline spinner. And I believe this is a Blue Fox inline spinner. Next up are some, I don't even know what you'd call these, just, I don't know, little spinners, I guess. Little tiny spoons, I'm not sure. Probably 1/16 of an ounce light rod, but very good for trout and panfish and little small creeks. Or if you just don't know what's living in a new body of water. Next, for some of my bigger jigs, here's a craw trailer. Natural colored football head jig. A darker colored natural football head jig. And this one isn't a football head jig, but just another natural colored jig. Couple finesse jigs, both in green pumpkin. Couple of my bigger jigs, black and blue. Green pumpkin. Kind of a more orangey, lighter jig. Another black and blue one. And a swim bait trailer I have in here. For some swim jigs, again, a light, natural colored bluegill, looks like, swim jig. A chartreuse and white swim jig. Another bluegill colored swim jig. And another black and blue football head jig. I'll run through this one a little bit quicker. We have swim baits, curly tail worms, a little spinner on that one, as well as some more craw creature style baits, lizard creature baits, some more craws, Senkos, trick / finesse style worms, and some more craw style baits. Problem with keeping soft plastics in boxes in the sun, sometimes they melt, as you can see. Senkos, speed worms, lizards, Senkos, and a trick worm. Lizard, some Senkos, some ribbon tails, some creature baits, and some melted baits. Next up, I have some bags of soft plastics. Green Pumpkin Senkos, Bass Pro Shops Tournament Series. Some Gary Yamamoto 4-inch Yama Senkos, natural color. Some more Yum Black and Blue Yum Dingers, which are just Senkos. Couple spinner baits. Nice chartreuse big spinner bait, Colorado willow leaf combo. Sexy shad, Colorado willow leaf combo. And then a heavier version of the Sexy Shad Colorado willow leaf combo. Next up, I have some trailers I like to use. These are some Pearl Flukes. Some Guggensaw Saucy Swimmer, natural colored paddle tail swim baits. As well as what I believe to be the best paddle tail swim baits from Kitech. And another natural colored, kind of a gold brown almost, Kalen's paddle tail swim bait. Next up, I have my biggest section of baits, which are soft plastics, which I have probably too many of, but you lose soft plastics, so I don't think you can ever have too many. Creature style Zuchi Bug. Some of these lures I might have a couple of, two of. Trick Worm, Slim Shake from Guggen. A Zoom Baby Brush Hog, lizard style. Guggen Kraken Craw. Some old original ribbon tail worms, work very good, kind of in a red plum color. Not a soft plastic, but I got some buzz baits in this pouch. Some flukes, some jerk minnow from Kalen's. A singular black and blue ribbon tail worm. Some tubes. All white Senkos. Black and blue trench hogs, a creature style craw bait. Yamamoto Yama Senkos in the 5-inch. More Senkos. Probably my favorite soft plastic is a Senko. Some Bandito bugs when you're fishing some beds, all white. 4.65 inch Trench Hog Jr. in the Alabama craw color, kind of reddish brown if you can see that. KVD Rage Tails from Strike King, black and blue. Some Plasma Tails, trick style bait. More craw Bandito bugs, which I got on clearance. Some more Zoom trick worms. Craw style baits. More craw style baits and kind of a PB&J color. Black and blue Senkos, classic as it gets. Some natural colored albino Super Fluke Juniors from Zoom. Honestly, probably my favorite soft plastic company is Zoom. And old packaging from a ribbon tail. Gotta throw that away. Couple more soft plastics. Tequila Sunrise from Zoom. Amazing, 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 amazing curly tail worm. They really do love them on a Texas rig in the summer. There's just nothing like it. Vertical Lures 2X, kind of a creature style bait. Probably good for a trailer on a nice jig. Some little, just straight up worms, finesse style worms. Some live magic shad from Lake Fort Trophy Lures. Now finally, that was almost 90% bass stuff. Here are some crappie jigs, because I do enjoy some crappie fishing when they're around. And finally, my terminal tackle. I have some wacky rig hooks here with a weed guard. some little jig heads, worm weights 3/8 ounce, got those right there too. Some more worm weights 3/8 3/0 worm weights, 2/0 worm weights, 2 mini 3/0 worm weights again, some nice tube hooks, which will go all the way to the bottom. And down here is our circle hooks, our treble hooks, and a couple swim head jig heads. It's kind of my miscellaneous. But that is absolutely all my fishing tackle that I carry with me every time I go out in this bag. I have a little bit more up in storage, but this is pretty much everything I use, minus rods, reels, line, stuff like that, pliers, terminal tackle. But these are all my lures and baits I use when I'm bass fishing, primarily in ponds from the shore. Thanks for watching another video. Please consider watching my next video. There's going to be a blizzard where we have up to a foot of snow, and I will be trying to camp out in it. If you're interested in that, then please watch. Stay tuned to the next one. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. Comment down below any baits that you enjoyed that I have or baits that I need to get. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.